sides.
What's the time?
I think I'm going to try and do it too.
Go ahead. I'd rather keep it in the family, you know. Boy, I hate to get that far and have to break that or something. I know that feeling, and I know you've done it before.
Piles of broken points.
Indians had those too.
Absolutely.
Yes, I've read about that.
Find them all the time.
Yeah. If he can shoot and hit all three, he'll beat 9 seconds.
I got you on film now, Norm. I'm going to figure out how to do it.
All right.
I'll go home and study them damn pictures.
Finger control has something to do with it, and I've learned
because you could break a pointer in half.
learned the hard way. And I still do it occasionally, but I try to keep the pressure in a different point so that it's more even instead of sometimes just a vibration in a certain spot. You can break it with your hand. I mean, I don't know why it does it.
Is it possible to make a match set like that? About 12 of those that are all the same?
It is possible, and I tell you what, I find myself actually doing this. I will be making a certain type of point and not even realize it, and take 4 or 5 and go in and set them down like that, and they'll be just carbon copies of each other, you know, minutely off here and there, but because there's no two alike ever, anywhere. They're like snowflakes, but at least they will look alike. They will be the same style. And I don't know why I do that. It just happens. It's done before I realize I do it. There's a finished point capable of killing anything that hits properly. And these little flakes, anybody wonders about how sharp they are? Razor sharp. There's a piece of obsidian that's been broken off of a nodule about the size of that. And I'll try and work that down a little bit.
Surprised how much you do with the percussion rather than
It took a long time to learn that percussion to control it.
Is it possible to do it all with the pressure plate?
It's possible to do it all with either one, pressure or percussion. I have made points. It's a lot easier to make bigger points using all percussion than it is the smaller ones, of course, but
Let me hit that one. I just shot out there in the woods. You make your
you want to trade?
make your spear points and all that. Fuel for this stuff.
Arrows up on the shelf that says these are Larry's. I knew they were my arrows. I walked up there and looked. And I said, damn, where did those come from? Those are my arrows. He said some guy from Michigan was hunting.
They weren't hurt either, were they?
Yeah, one of them had a broken point and the other one had no point. Yeah, I done the same thing. Whatever. I shot very poorly down there, and I had arrows. I planted about 3 arrow trees out there someplace. Jeff's gonna,
Arrow trees?
yeah, Jeff's going to guard them closely until they have little ones.
With that willow?
Yeah. Yeah, willow shafts, just like these. Had arrows on them, points on them.
Fire straight?
No. Hand straighten them and let them dry for a year. They have to dry. That's probably the secret. About usually once a month. They just get stiffer and stiffer. And I've had them on the spine pistol go over 100 pounds. So I know that the Indians had no problem with This is a very, very poor piece to work with for some reason or other. It just doesn't seem to be giving me good flakes. Just not going to make a point. At least not a good one. It grinds down the edge, makes it so that the horn will catch and take off a bigger, longer flake. Yeah, once in a while you get a little blood. Once in a while you really cut yourself bad with this obsidian. It's much sharper in the original made point in little flakes and stuff than the flint is. Because for all practical purposes this piece is a broken glass. But it also dulls quicker. Yes, yes. In the hardness category, glass is right down on the bottom. And for all practical purposes, that's what this stuff is. It works the same as bottle glass. It's just when you knock a flake of obsidian off from an apparent rock, it sets up a lot of little shock waves within it that might give you trouble later on in making the point. You also have to grind obsidian a little more often than you do. Hey you. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a copy of it on the market. Probably end up being flat broke in 6 months.
I'll sell you this one, Ryan. Wonder how much this band's worth.
Why don't you just wait and buy the one that comes out? I haven't investigated this too much, but I think if I can put a tape on the market, if I can make $5 a tape and put one in every school in the United States, I couldn't spend all the money I'd make off of it. And that way it'd give them all a chance to see.
You need a producer?
That guy out in New Hampshire, that Henry Valancourt, you know him?
No.
He's got one out on making snowshoes.
Putting them in school?
No, sells them.
Oh,
I think he's got one on birch bark canoes too, I'm not sure.
I've seen several advertised in these hunting magazines and stuff on how to this and how to that, you know, it just goes on and on.
But they're beautiful, they're works of art, you know. There's a lot of guys that make them in Wisconsin. Minnesota, but
I saw a real birch bark canoe once. Pa Keeler had it, and at that time, which was many, many years ago, it cost him $400 order. But
I inquired, and he said he was booked up till if I wanted a canoe, $400 deposit, I would get it in 1989. It would be made in 1989. So far, booked up he is.
glad I ain't that far booked ahead on Arrowhead. I might decide to skip the country. That's what a lot of people say. I want a pair of earrings. I make a lot of these into earrings. And I'll pay you now, and you can give them to me when you see me the next time. But no way. I won't do it. I just won't. I might decide that I never want to make another pair of earrings, and I don't want to be obligated to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you feel like heck doing that.
No, money doesn't run a hole in my pocket. It doesn't stay there long enough.
I should show you his brochure on snowshoes. Just unbelievable. You know, the old Indians, the long pointed kind, and then he's got the beaver tail, bear paws, and the square, and all. Fine.
Want to see the other side?
Mm-hmm.
That side or that side?
Oh, yeah?
It looks pretty good.
There's another piece of obsidian. You can tell the obsidian from the glass. You can see through the obsidian.